What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my money's channel. So today I'm bringing you guys another of my famous recipes. Today we are going to be making carne en su jugo. So for some of you guys who don't know what carne en su jugo means or what it is, basically carne en su jugo means like meat and its own, like, let me not explain it. Basically what carne en su jugo is, it's basically like, it's like beef. It's like boiled beef. There's salsa in it with beans and bacon, and then you could put cilantro, onions in it, and radish. It's pretty good. So for those of you guys who are kind of iffy about it, like, trust me, I have never failed you guys. Carne en su jugo is like one of my favorite recipes. Like, it's so fucking good. Now that winter's coming up, I'm going to try to make you guys more like soups and caldos. Just because I know a lot of you guys have been asking for that, and of course it's getting cold. I know you guys want to eat more of like soups and stuff. So let's get it started. And also shout out to my mom. She used to make me this all the time when I was little, and like to this day I love this fucking recipe. You are going to need bacon. I got 2 packs because I got 4 pounds of beef. This is bistec. That's how you say it in Spanish. It's like in Milanesa form. Bistec is tri-tip for those of you guys who don't know, and it's cut very thin. I got this at a Mexican meat market. So if you guys happen to go, they will actually cut it up for you in little squares. Well, the guy was nice enough to do it for me, so you can ask them to cut it up for you guys. That way you guys don't have to do it and it's faster. You're going to need the little onions. You're going to need a can of jalapenos. You're going to need about 2 onions. You're going to need tomatillos. I grabbed about 2 pounds. You're going to need radish. You're going to need cilantro. I got 2. And you're going to need lemons. Okay, you guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our beans to boil because they're the ones that take the longest. So make sure you put your beans maybe an hour before you actually start cooking, because beans kind of take a while to cook. I'm using Peruvian beans. I like the flavor of these beans, and also they cook faster than the pinto beans. I feel like pinto beans usually take like 2 hours to cook. These usually take about an hour. So I'm using about 2 of these packets because I'm making food for about 7 people. Just to give you guys an idea, I already threw 1 packet in there, but I need 1 more, so I'm going to use 2 of these. Alright, you guys, so once your beans are inside, what you want to do is you want to look in through the beans to see if there's like any little rocks or if there's any like rotten beans in here. Peruvian beans usually, or like the ones that come in these, usually don't have like a lot of rocks in them. But like if you buy it like in a big bulk, usually you tend to find a lot of rocks. So yeah, make sure you go through them and take out any beans that kind of look a little funny to you. I haven't found any rotten ones or any rocks in here, so this is actually a good batch. Once we went through our beans and we made sure there's no little rocks in them, now we're going to rinse our beans. Alright, you guys, so now I have my pot full of water. I already rinsed my beans, so you see how clear the water is. That's how you know they're nice and clean. Now we're gonna put them to boil. Alright, guys, so now we're gonna add the salt. The salt, you can add it in the beginning when you boil the beans, or you can add it midway. I usually like to add it in the beginning, so that way the beans catch the flavor of the salt right away. And however much salt you're gonna use is just however big your like pot is. Also as you cook the beans, you're gonna have to keep adding water. So you're gonna keep adding water maybe midway add a little more salt, just because since you're adding water throughout the way that you're cooking them, it's gonna kind of like it's gonna take away the flavor of the salt. So maybe add a little bit of salt midway. Just for starters, I'm gonna add like this much salt. If you're a beginner, then maybe I recommend that you maybe put salt midway. That way you could be able to taste the beans and see if it has enough salt. But that's what I'm gonna start out with. And then I have my fire on medium low. And make sure you check on the beans I would say maybe every 20 minutes. Cause if not, if you're Mexican or Latino, you're gonna remember how many times your mom freaked the fuck out because she forgot she had the beans on the fucking stove and they burned, okay? Alright, you guys, so my beans are now done. This is what cooked beans look like. Usually there should be more water, not to lie. The water should be at least up to here. But I kind of let it like dry out a little bit. But just for future reference, when you guys make beans, make sure it has, you try to keep the water like maybe up to here. That way you can keep reusing them. Alright, you guys, so I barely put my tomatillos and my onion to boil. So I put all my tomatillos in here and I grabbed one whole onion and I chopped it in half, okay? So that's not 2 onions, that's only 1 onion chopped in half. I'm gonna add 2 garlic cloves to boil in there also. So we're only gonna let this boil until the tomatillos change color. So I'll show you guys how it's going to look. Alright guys, now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna start chopping up my bacon so I can start cooking it. So I'm just gonna use scissors to cut it. I'm doing this kind of like the lazy way. You could do this with a knife also. Alright guys, so you want to cut up your bacon about like maybe like this. So I'm gonna cut up both of my packet. Alright guys, so I got my bacon all chopped up. I know it looks like a lot of bacon, but I'm making a lot of meat. So, and you know, motherfuckers love bacon. Everybody loves bacon. Anyway, so what I'm gonna cook with my bacon is these little onions. So this is just gonna give the bacon flavor. So I'm just gonna throw them in there. And now I'm gonna throw my bacon in here. And then just make sure it's even so it cooks evenly. Alright guys, so you see how the tomatillo changed color now? That's how you know it's ready to be taken out. So I think I only let it boil for about maybe 5 minutes or so. Alright guys, so I got my assistant cook helping me.
What's up, you guys?
And you know, she's not a lazy chopper. So I'm going to show you guys her work.
She was trained well.
Yes, she was trained from the best.
Yes.
So you guys, your radishes should be chopped up in circles like this. And then make sure that your onion is chopped up fine. Do not have these motherfuckers looking like fucking blocks and shit. And then I got my cilantro right here. Alright guys, so now that my tomatillos and my onion and my garlic is ready, I'm going to start throwing them in the blender.
Dirty.
So I have all my tomatillos in here. I'm gonna start out with only half of the onion instead of putting the whole onion, because I want to see how it's gonna taste first, and then I'm gonna add water. You can add regular water. I'm gonna just add some of this water right here. Do not use boiling water if your blender is not like that thick or it can't stand it, because sometimes they break, but mine, I've done it before and it could stand it. So if you have like a little old school blender, then maybe use just regular cold water or whatever. I mean, use room temperature water. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna grab I'm gonna start out with 1 jalapeno. My mom said I could add 2, but I'm only gonna start with 1. This one doesn't have the little tip on it. So I'm gonna throw 1 jalapeno in here. And then I'm going to grab some of the juice and I'm just going to put a little bit in here for extra flavor. Maybe just like that much for right, or you know what, let's put a little more. Maybe like that much just for right now. Alright guys, so now you can use either salt, you can use either regular salt, or you can use chicken bouillon. I'm gonna use the chicken bouillon, but you can use either or. And I'm gonna start out with maybe that much. Alright guys, since I added more water, I'm gonna throw in a little more chicken bouillon. My bacon is now cooked. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in this strainer. We're gonna put it in the strainer with a bunch of napkins. That way the oil could soak up in the napkin. Alright guys, so I'm gonna put the other half of the onion in here. And I'm also gonna add more water because my chile is really thick. I'm also gonna add another chile. Make sure you take the what do you call this? I don't know what you call this, but make sure you take this off.
The stem.
Take off the stem. And you guys, I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt to my chile. And this is optional, you don't have to do this. So I'm gonna add about that much.
Mama!
Britt, come taste this.
I'll taste it.
Let me see your hand.
Come here, Mama. Come here. Oh, you're so cute. You're such a cute shit too, Mama.
Britt, come taste this. Tell me what
Don't
it's
get close
missing.
to me.
That's spicy, dude.
That's not spicy.
Let me see.
Then
Mama. Maybe a little bit of this.
does it need another jalapeno, you think? I
Yeah.
put two in already.
Maybe one more jalapeno. I feel like it's not spicy at all.
Alright guys, I'm gonna add a third jalapeno. And I'm also gonna add more jalapeno juice. And I'm also going to add more water. Alright guys, my salsa is now ready. I want to show you guys the consistency. I want to show you guys how thick it should be. So maybe about that much. I ended up adding another jalapeno. So I put 4 jalapenos in total. And then I use chicken bouillon and I also use salt. The salt depends on how much flavor, how salty you want it. So there's really no measurements to it. Alright guys, so now we're gonna work on cooking the meat. So what we're going to do, this is a little different. So what we're going to do is you're gonna grab a pot and you're only gonna put a little bit of water, maybe like up to right here. Maybe like just enough to the water be over the meat. And we're going to cook the meat. Usually it'll boil for about 10 to 15 minutes because it's cut very, very thin. So what we're going to do first is we're going to let the water boil first. Do not throw the meat in yet. The water has to boil first. Alright guys, so now my water is boiling. So now I'm going to put my meat in there. Alright guys, so I barely put my meat to boil. But I wanted to show you guys how much water I put. That way you guys get like a good idea. I barely put enough water just to cover all the meat. So don't fill up your pot. You just want enough water to cover the meat and that's it. Alright guys, so this is what your meat should look like. I actually removed some of the water that was in here because you don't want a lot of water. You barely want any in there, like about that much. So I boiled it for maybe about 30 minutes or so. If you're cooking less meat, it'll probably cook faster. But this is what your meat should look like. And this is how much water you should have in here. Okay guys, so I put all of my chile in here. My carne en su jugo is done. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to prep. So first we're going to grab our frijolitos, our beans. And you could put as much beans as you want. I'm probably going to put maybe about that much. And I'll put a little bit of the juice in here. Okay, so I put about that much. And I'm gonna throw a little bit more of the juice. Okay, now I'm gonna put my carne into jugo. And you guys, I wanted to mention to you guys, oh shit. I wanted to mention to you guys, the meat is supposed to be chopped up in little squares. But the lazy ass fucking guy at the meat market didn't cut it up hella big. But I mean, it's my fault too, because I had him cut it instead of me doing it. So if you want something done right, you do it yourself. So just a tip. Alright guys, and I'm putting some of the juice in here. Okay, so this is like literally one of the best parts. Now I'm gonna put bacon inside. I'm gonna put some bacon in here. Oh girl, this is about to be bomb. You could put as much bacon as you want. I fucking love bacon. Alright, so now I'm gonna put cilantro. I fucking love cilantro, so I'm putting a lot. Now I'm gonna sprinkle some onion. And I'm gonna get rábanos. And I'm going to sprinkle some rábanos. And I'm gonna put some lemon. You don't have to put lemon in it. A lot of people like lemon. I do, so I'm gonna put just a little bit of lemon in it.
Lime, because people are gonna start coming.
Lime, motherfuckers, whatever. But look at how fucking bomb this looks, you guys. This shit looks fucking fire. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna do my famous fetish bites from my freaks. Alright, so this is my bowl. I'm gonna try to grab a little bit of everything because this shit is fucking bomb. Alright, so I grabbed a little bit of everything. Fucking fire, you guys.
Fire.
Is it good, you guys? Fire?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that you guys all...
Wait, this is like our favorite soup ever.
Alright guys, and that concludes my carne to jugo video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this meal because I know me and my family love this meal. I have been obsessed with this since I was a little kid. My mom would make it for me all the time. Let me know what you guys think about my recipe in the comment section. Let me know if you guys maybe add something different to your carne su jugo. I love when you guys tell me like the stuff that you guys, the way that you guys do it sometimes. Don't be shady and be like, ah, you did it wrong. Those are the bitches that get on my nerves. But I don't mind when you guys tell me like the way that you guys do it, or sometimes you add stuff to it. Don't forget to tag me or send me your guys' pictures of the recipes you guys make. You guys know I love when you guys send me that stuff. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And thank you guys so much for watching Mo Money's channel.